Hey folks, you're watching Archetype of Man channel. I'm Nick. I apologize if my voice is a little weird. I just had a tonsillectomy 13 days ago. Not fun, by the way, if you're an adult. So that being said though, Nitecore reached out to me and they sent me their pistol light, which you may have seen the video on, and they also sent me a cool EDC flashlight. So the EDC flashlight they sent me is their EDC25. This is a neat little light. I say little because it is skinny and it does lend itself well to EDC carry. They have since come out with the EDC27, which is a little bit more high tech, and you have a screen for your battery and things like that, whereas this one has LED indicators. Is that a big deal? I don't know. This doesn't bother me a bit. So let's dive into it. Up front, you got two lights there. You have two buttons. Back here, you have a very tactical side that I'll show you here in a second. And then you've got a raised button that allows you to cycle through the different lighting levels and things like that. You've got a very robust pocket clip, as you can see there. And over here is your USB Type-C charge port. So what I like about the light is that you can lock out the raised button. As you'll see, there's a red LED flashing there. If you try to hit it, nothing happens. The button you're most likely to hit when it's in your pocket. Even with the raised button locked out, the one that you might accidentally hit in your pocket, you still have the option to hit the other button and get the full 3000 lumens of face melting light on demand. So tactical tail switch, cool. You know, if you don't have a weapons light on your gun, that's useful. It's useful even not having a firearm. Just what was that? Now I see if I need a gun, it's pretty nifty. So let's go ahead and go to the tabletop. We'll go over some specs, and then of course there will be nighttime footage as well, but we'll go over some of the things this light can do and some of the things that it might work well for you. So here we are, nifty light, and there's a lot of attention to detail here, like even this little raised section here. It took me a second to figure out what that's for. It's so that when you're sliding it in your pocket, you've got a shelf for your fingers so that you're not on the buttons, which is cool. So this button's locked out right now, but if we soft press, long press, wait for those lights to go, now you've got the what I call the option button ready to go. So both heads do come on. This is the low setting, which is 15 lumens, and then we can bump up, and you can see here we've got our battery level and our light level. So we can go up to 65 lumens. This will make more sense at night. We can go up to 200 lumens, and then we can go up to 1000 lumens, which is pretty bright. So that's cool there. Push all the way down and turn it off. Now, if you just have need of momentary, you know, low light, you can soft press this just halfway down, and then you get momentary. If you go ahead and click it all the way down, it's going to revert to its last setting. So yeah, there's two stages to that button. Press and hold, or press and hold and click it, or you can just click it right from the get-go. So this other button you can set up for strobe or turbo mode, which is 3000 lumens. I just have it, I don't really have much use for strobe, so I've just got set up to immediately dump full power, which is cool. So some of the specs on it, it says 3000 lumens and turbo with 300 meter throw, 22,500 candela at that level. So it is pretty intense. This is a really cool light. I'm going to drop all the specs and stuff down in the description, as well as a link. I've had good luck carrying it so far. It's large enough that it's got a very capable light, small enough that it's comfortable enough to actually carry for me. So you do have a lanyard loop there if you wanted to put something through there. Not really my thing, but it is there. Type-C charging port. It's right here. So very cool. I like that they've standardized that. What I really like is that you have the option to have low light for like administrative stuff, and you have the option to go to your full brightness. So even if you lock this out, you know, say during the daytime or whatnot, so that you don't bump it in your pocket. When you need light, you typically need a lot of it if you need it quickly, and I like that you have the option to do that. They're not joking about this hot indicator. At full strength, the end of the light does get pretty warm. It's got instructions for figuring out how to lock and unlock it, which is useful. There's a sensor right there, the little black hole is supposed to be some sort of proximity sensor so that it doesn't, you know, burn up your pocket or whatever, but I haven't really played with that much. Yeah, very comfortable light. So Nitecore has been around for a while in the rechargeable battery and light market and chargers and things like that. Been very impressed with their offerings so far. Enjoy the nighttime footage. All right, we're out tonight with the Nitecore EDC25. Go ahead and show you that half press low that I was talking about. Again, it does use both LED emitters for that. So you can see it's kind of limited to the road there. Go ahead and click it for constant on. If we want to ramp up to the next setting, there we go. And it's getting out there a little further. Camera's going to focus here any second. I know it will. There we go. So we're starting to get into the trees a little bit. Not really enough to tell what's going on over there. If we hit it again, now we are at level 3 of 4. Now we're starting to be able to see kind of what's going on. And we'll give it another bump up. And now we are definitely turning night into day to some degree. I'm going to put that in perspective. If we go over to the turbo button or the tactical button and give it full power, now we are definitely cooking with gas. So it is definitely a flood beam. It's not a spot or a thrower or anything like that, but it is impressive. Like I was saying, even if you lock out that, the button that gives you the low and all that, so you don't inadvertently turn it on in your pocket and you want to pull it out and get a lot of light really fast, you can do that with that tactical button. It does step down. We're going to hold it here till it does. I think you get 30 seconds and then you can kind of see where it goes to. Yeah, so we still got a good bit of light. We can immediately go back to the full amount of light and we get another 30 seconds as long as the thermal cutoff is good. So that has been my experience with it so far. Even when it steps down, that's still a ton of light readily available in your pocket. Nice beam. I mean, yeah, kid left the hula hoop out, but it's a ton of fun. This light is pretty darn impressive in my opinion. The low setting is good for, stuff up close. But I like that you have the option of all the light with that button or some of the light. That's cool to me. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. So if you followed the channel for any length of time, you know that I'm a big proponent of having a handheld light. I like lights, I always have, and this one is quickly becoming one of my favorites for a couple different reasons. As I mentioned during the tabletop, having the option to get low light if you need it, or lock that out so you don't inadvertently turn it on, but you still have access to a lot of light very quickly, whether that other button's locked out or not. I like that. That system is intuitive to me. It was easy for me to get the hang of. It's also a comfortable light. The way the clip's designed, I can get a really good grasp on the light. It's just all the features I like rolled into something that I can actually carry. Type-C charging is a big deal for me for a number of reasons. I'm an Android phone user. A lot of other stuff takes Type-C, so having that on board on the light, very cool. As far as it having 2 emitters, it doesn't really bother me. As you'll see with the nighttime footage, they definitely deliver. It is a significant amount of light. It charges at 1.7 amps, a little bit slower than we've seen with other things at like 2 and 2.5 amps, but still respectable. It gives you the specs on the battery, 1700 milliamp hour battery in there. That's impressive for the size. Max discharge current 10 amps. So that's some serious current that it's discharging, at its full brightness. So I think it's pretty awesome personally. I think that if you're in the market for an EDC light, this should be a contender. They run about 80 bucks, so they're not cheap, but you get a lot of features. You do get a light that goes in the pocket nicely and comes out of the pocket nicely. I'll show you, it's not super covert. People could definitely tell you had something there, but it's not as obtrusive as a lot of other lights. So we'll go ahead and we're just going to put it over here where I normally carry a light. And there you go. So you got something there. Oh, what's that? Well, it's a light. And in a world where people are getting kind of wonky about lights with, spiky crenellated bezels and things like that, this doesn't really look like, oh gosh, we need to be scared of that. This looks like a really cool flashlight. So I doubt people will give you too hard of a time over that. I tend to use 2 hands when I'm putting a light in my pocket, but you can obviously do it with 1 if you need to. And there it is. The clip's pretty secure. I haven't had it come out, but for it to go from pocket to having light pretty quick, even if the raised button is locked out. As I mentioned, I did have a tonsillectomy, so I haven't done a whole lot of gun stuff over the last couple of weeks because, well, on pain medicine, reloading and shooting, probably not smart, and I just felt like crap for a while. So what I ended up doing was playing with flashlights. So that's why you're getting so many light reviews. They've been on my list of things to do. So I appreciate Nitecore's patience with letting me get this out to you guys, giving me a little bit more time to play with them and things like that. I've really enjoyed their products so far. I have no hesitation recommending them to you, especially this thing is really cool. And like I said, the updated version, the EDC27 with the screen and stuff on it, that may be the way that you want to go. It may not be. There is a little bit of a price difference there, but the EDC25 works for me. It is very cool, and I'm enjoying using it so far. So guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Remember, a weapons mounted light is no substitute for a good handheld. If you feel like you need a weapons mounted light, you still need to carry a handheld light. Everybody should carry a light of some sort because, well, it's dark for a significant chunk of the day. And not to mention going in buildings, things like that. A flashlight's just useful. It's one of the things I will not leave the house without. Before I go, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Y'all rock. If you're interested in supporting the channel, it's very much appreciated. There are links down in the description. Becoming a channel member or patron, both have their own perks and are very much appreciated. And if you want to do a one-time donation, the channel does have a Cash App that's down there as well. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.